We welcome in General Manager Mike Mayock. And Mike, I want to begin with the construction of this roster, specifically to compete with the Chiefs. And after 2 games, what you and head coach John Gruden think about this mission?
Yeah, it's kind of interesting, JT. When you look at our AFC West, obviously the defending world champions are in that division. So while you want to make conscientious decisions about building a roster on certain structure, foundation type players, etc., you also have to keep in mind who you're chasing. And in our division, everybody knows it's the Kansas City Chiefs. They're quick, they're explosive on both sides of the line of scrimmage. They have a generational type quarterback. So I think offensively, we've become a pretty good football team. We've surrounded Derek Carr with some weapons. We can run the ball. We can throw it a little bit. Defensively, we have to get better. And I think that's going to be part of our core goal going forward.
Derek Carr is in year 3 of the system with John Gruden. And Rich Gannon made the point when he heard the NBC broadcast that Derek really took command of the line of scrimmage with all of the cadences and checkdowns. Can you talk about how he's evolved at the quarterback position?
Yeah, Rich is 100% correct, and it is so much fun to watch Derek. And JT, you know how all the time you hear people say that a quarterback is an extension of his coach? Well, I think that's an overused expression. However, with Derek Carr, it isn't. And I've watched him evolve over the last couple of years. He gets us into plays against looks that I can't believe. John Gruden puts a ton on his plate. John might say, look, here's the base call. But if they're in this, we're going that. If they're in that, we're going this. He gives them 5, 6, 7 different thought process. And all of a sudden, you get out of the huddle, you're 11, 10, 9. And Derek is still surveying, sees the safety come down. He's doing that. Derek is getting us into the play that John Gruden would like us in. And John's a great play caller, and Derek's an extension of that.
Let's talk about you personally, the challenges of operating as a GM in a COVID environment. Usually you're on the road, you're seeing everybody in person. You love to go to these bowl games upcoming. What's that been like for you personally and your staff?
It's been bizarre, but all 32 teams are dealing with it. I mean, just for example, this morning, I spent 6 hours this morning on the phone with my area scouts. And the reason is I'm behind. I'm behind on my college scouting, and that's because of all the COVID issues that all the general managers in the league are dealing with right now. So I don't get a chance to go on the road. Last year, you know, I spent a couple days at Ohio State, a couple at Alabama, a couple at Georgia, a couple at Clemson. You know, whenever the Raiders were on the road, so was I. I was leaving earlier and getting out there and doing my school visits so I can physically see, touch, and feel these kids and their coaches. So I miss that. That's how I operate. But we also, it's the same thing for all the area scouts. You can't go to practice. You can't meet with coaches. You can't meet with players. You get to go to an isolated group of games. It's a different world we're living in, but our challenge is to do the best we can with it.
Mike, I want to stay with that. You're a grinder like Coach Gruden. Are you going to rely on your contacts around college football? You know a lot of big names, coaches, all those years, and your staff is outstanding. So is that ramping up, or what's the calendar look like when it comes to that?
Yeah, that's exactly right. And, you know, you try to be respectful of what these college coaches are dealing with. Some of them are on COVID hiatus. Some of them are in the middle of their seasons. It's a different year. So to the extent you can reach out and use your connections, we all do. I think the off season is going to be critical. Once we get into that January timeframe, a couple of the college bowl games have already said they're not going to go this year. The Senior Bowl said they are going to go. That's going to be a critical week if we can get the Senior Bowl done. What's going to happen at the Combine? Are we going to have another off season like we did last year where most of it's going to be done virtually? We don't have the answers to any of this. So really, the reality, JT, keep grinding on the tape, keep grinding on all your contacts, and do the best we can with all of it.
Mike, good luck in Atlanta. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks, man.